Okay, so today we're going to jump into this really fascinating document. It's called Re-Encounter, and it lays out two super mysterious cases of, well, visual phenomena. The cases are called Vaughan and Jeanne.
And right off the bat, this thing makes a pretty bold claim. I mean, it's really asking us to think about something wild. Could our technology, our cameras and screens, actually be seeing things from another plane of existence?
So this whole idea brings us to the core concept, which has a pretty official sounding name. Instrumental transcommunication, or ITC for short. Basically, it's the theory that our electronics can act as a bridge, a way to communicate with, or even just see, other dimensions. This is the framework we need to keep in mind as we look at the evidence they present. All right, let's get into it. First up, we have case file Vaughan, and this one presents a piece of visual evidence that is, well, it's surprisingly clear. So what are we looking at here? The document calls it a curious composition, and yeah, it is. You can see what looks like a normal photo of a desk, but then there's this greenish, kind of see-through image of a person's face laid right over the top of it. But here's where it gets really specific. The source points out, and I'm quoting here, at right, Vaughan looks younger. Now that's a huge detail, right? It implies they're not just seeing some random face. They think they know who this is, just younger. And get this, it's not just a single static photo. The document claims this is actually a still frame from a video where this person they're calling Fawn apparently smiles. That totally changes things, doesn't it? It suggests a living, dynamic presence, not just some random glitch in a photo. Okay, so let's shift gears now to the second case file, Jeanne. And this one, well, it's a completely different vibe. Compared to the Vaughan image, the evidence here is way more abstract, almost ethereal. What we've got here are two captures, supposedly taken just moments apart. You really got to look closely at that swirl of light and mist. In the first one, maybe you can kind of make out the shape of an eye, the curve of a face. Then in the second one, you see how it's shifted? It's fuzzier, less defined. The source is basically presenting these as snapshots of some kind of fleeting, light-based thing. So you can see this is way different from the Vaughan case. These images are so much more open to interpretation. And, they really play on our brain's tendency to see patterns, especially faces and random stuff. There's a word for that. It's called pareidolia. So the big question is, did the camera actually capture an anomaly, or are our minds just doing what they do best, making sense out of light and shadow? So after looking at these two very different cases, you gotta wonder, right? Who's behind all this? Where is this research actually coming from? Well, the last page of the document gives us our answer. It's all being presented by the Institute of Advanced Research in Instrumental Transcommunication. Okay, so that tells us a lot. These aren't just random, weird photos somebody found. They're part of a dedicated, focused effort by a group that studies this exact thing. And that leaves us in a really interesting spot. What are we actually looking at here? Are they just technical glitches, bugs in the machine? Is it just a powerful example of our own minds seeing faces in the static? Or is it what these researchers are suggesting? Is our technology actually picking up on something that's just beyond what we can normally perceive? The document gives us the what, but man, that why, that's the real mystery, isn't it?